Hey gang. Okay. I want to say it was either last night or 2 nights ago when J-Boy Pac-Man did a video about this game. Well, not specifically about this game, but he showed this game off in a pickup video. The game is called Master of Monsters. Oops. For the good old Jenny. Now, here's the thing about it, right? Here's how I got. Oh God, look at me! I got a bald spot back. Look at this. Holy shit. Anyways, here's the deal. When I lived in the great town of Pensgrove, I had a next door neighbor who owned a Sega Genesis. Now, I got mine. God, what year was it? I want to say 95. I'm trying to think like when the Sega Channel came out because I know it was before that. Anyways, so I got the system, and a friend of mine brought some games over to play one day, and one of the games was in fact this. So he started playing it. I actually was watching him, and he was like clueless. I'm not picking on the guy. The game was hard enough for both of us to figure out. We're like, what the f are we supposed to do here? I never seen the game before, and he had it lying around, I guess, and he never we never figured it out. So one day, so he lives over at my house. I figured the game out, and I somehow managed to figure out what this is. For anybody that doesn't know, okay, first off, I don't know anything about this company, Renovation, but it's a strategy RPG type game, kind of like in the vein of, let me think, kind of almost like in the vein of Falsebound Kingdom, which came out for the GameCube not that long ago. But this one doesn't have anybody like Yugi or Kaiba or anything like that. You basically play one of 4 different characters. And the way I always figure the game out is I like to play games by myself so I can, and what I'll do is I'll get like maybe if a game requires 2 controllers, I'll sit there and play both sides just so I can sort of kind of understand what I'm doing. It's a very interesting game because what will happen is the game will give you a certain number of turns for one side to actually beat the other, and the monsters that you can control are like chess pieces because they can only move a certain number of spaces. Some fly, some walk, some do this, some do this. And the idea is to be the last lord standing. But the real pain is when you can't summon any more monsters, and what you end up with is like everybody in a stalemate or so forth, and it's just a pain in the ass. But yeah, that's actually the story about how I actually got this game. I thought I'd actually do the video on it just so people don't think I'm like nuts. There's another story though that's not so endearing. It involves the same person. Who remembers the X-Men game that came out for the Genesis? You know, the one with the really goofy level select code. And oh yeah, that really goofy way you had to actually beat the one level by actually resetting your Genesis. Remember that? Alright, well, this friend of mine, who again I won't name, he had a friend of his that had the game. Now, this friend of his comes over his house one day, and I was there, and we were talking, and the subject of the X-Men Genesis game came up, but not for a good reason. The belief was that this friend of his accused him of stealing the game. Now, this friend of mine had to return the game and was pissed at me about it because I didn't stick up for him. But first off, I didn't know what this story was, if he was told to if he could borrow the game or if he outright took it. So the fact that he got mad at me was kind of, funny. For the simple reason that it's like, if I don't know if I don't know the story beforehand, I can't tell anybody one way or the other. You're lying or you're lying. What ended up happening was my friend and I ended up giving the game back, and he was madder than about me, or mad at me because I didn't stick up for him. That's kind of sad, but in the same case, it's like, if you did take the game, why are you gonna have me cover for you? I don't play that. So, you actually got a 2-for-1 deal there. Because I actually was just going to tell you how I got this deal. But I figured out, what the hell. I'm bored, and I'm going to get ready to play some... another story in a minute. See if we can get through at least one section of Chapter 2 before I go absolutely nuts today. So, until then, I will see you at 2 o'clock this morning. Have a good night, or good afternoon.